It's very difficult not to live in the moment when you're facing imminent danger. Let me expand on this a little bit. When you're under some kind of really intense danger, when you're under some kind of big stress in your life that is going on in that moment, you cannot think about anything else. Mindfulness is often thought of as a very introspective, meditative, kind of going into a quiet room or putting on some monks chanting in the background. And this is the kind of idea that mindfulness conjures up for most people. And that serves its purpose. That is a great thing. It does have its place. But for a lot of people, it's very, very difficult to do. We're wired all the time. We are constantly bombarded with information via our emails, our social media, the people that we're around in person. And so when we try and spend some time quietly, and when we try and spend some time clearing our mind, it's so alien to us that it's a vast challenge. Now, I don't have anything against challenging yourself. That's not something that I have a problem with. In fact, it's something I encourage actively. However, it needs to be done in a way which is realistic. And it needs to be done in a way which allows you to get outside your comfort zone, but just outside, so that that comfort zone can expand and you can incrementally get further and further and further. So rather than fighting against this wired, constantly bombarded, information-filled brain, rather than fighting against that, why not work with it? Why not find a way to almost distract yourself from all of that? When I try and go inwards, when I try and think about, meditation, clear my mind and all of that kind of stuff, which I find massively beneficial, especially struggling with ADHD the way I do, I still find that there's these little things which start eating away at the edges of that calm, eating away at the edges of that focus and of that clear mind. I can hear things in the background. I start thinking about the things I've got to do later that day. Extreme mindfulness is different. Extreme mindfulness is blasting your senses so that you have no choice but to be present. If your senses are bombarded with what is going on right now, rather than the things you've got to do later or the things that happened yesterday, you are in the moment. You are mindful. Mindfulness is not the same thing as meditation. A case in point, if you are doing a bungee jump or a skydive, you aren't worrying about how many emails you've got to respond to. If you are practicing Brazilian jiu-jitsu and someone is choking you out and you're about to tap out, but you're trying to struggle to get free of this hold, you are not worrying about your kids' grades at school. If you are scuba diving or climbing or any kind of sport which requires you to be in the moment and focused on what you're doing because of the complexity and the risk, then you are not worried about how many likes your last Instagram post got. And one of the absolute best chronic stress beating activities is some kind of acute stress. One of the best cures to that chronic everyday stress that we have that is pervasive through our entire lives is a period of acute stress, a period of physical challenge, because that's what our bodies evolved to deal with. That's the kind of stress that's good for us. Now, you're not always going to be able to jump in a shark cage or do a bungee jump or a skydive in the morning to get yourself focused on what's going on right now. So what you can do is something that is within your home, something which you can do, which doesn't take much time and uses what's around you. And that is cold water, whether it's a cold bath or a cold shower. Cold shower is more practical for most people. You can just, and I'm not talking about washing yourself in a cold shower. You can go in, get yourself washed in a normal, nice warm shower, get yourself all cleaned up. And then at the end, crank the shower nice and cold and hold your breath. Even better, hold your breath out. Take a few deep breaths, breathe out and hold your breath out. Empty lungs, because what you're doing there is you're under two different kinds of acute stress, that cold and also the fact that you haven't got oxygen in your lungs. Okay, try that and see how mindful you are, because I guarantee you won't be thinking about anything else.